in just because it can create some background noise.
I'm muted.
You're unmuted.
Oh, I'm unmuted. One thing we're proud of that we accomplished this week, one thing we're grateful for. Carol did her first Facebook Live. That's huge. It took me almost a year, more than a year for me to do my first Facebook Live. Enrolled 3 newbies. Wow. 2 of which double PIB value packs. Hello. We hosted our first Philly event. That's exciting. Grateful for celebrating my birthday with people. Happy birthday, Tia. Shared my story in person with 3 new people. That's huge. Grateful to be in Lake Tahoe. Yeah, Hope is across the state at the moment. Shared my Insta TV and went on a coffee date with a new connection this morning. Amazing. Had my first enrollment this past week. Even bigger. So amazing. Grateful for family and convincing my fiance to try the system with me. Love it. Set up my second sip and sample event. Love it. Connecting with new people in a different city. Huge. Did my first Facebook Live. I love it. I went live on Facebook and shared my story on Facebook stories. So good. That's so awesome, you guys. And I just want to acknowledge everyone who did step out of their comfort zone and achieved, doing what we're uncomfortable doing. I think that's a huge achievement that we don't tend to look at. We don't really look at our small wins, which are really big wins, right? So I just want to acknowledge everyone who stepped out of their comfort zone, did the homework, did the Facebook Live, shared their story on their Instagram stories or their Instagrams, Facebooks, wherever, if it was in person, if it was online. That's huge. And just know that stepping out of our comfort zone really leads to, growth in our businesses. So I just want to say congratulations for everyone who did that. Invited new friends to a Wellness Wednesday. Did my first enrollment, reconnected with a friend from elementary school. Had a sweat and sample. 7 people show up. Wow. I'm grateful for this new opportunity and having amazing women in my life to provide positive influence. I love it. Well, I'm just going to keep that rolling for anyone else who wants to post and share their wins, and we'll just get started. So this week we're talking about in-homes, which are so essential to growing our businesses. Now, I'm not sure if you are familiar with Peter Kelly, a leader over in Australia. She blew up her business, maxed out her business at 25 years old by holding consistent in-home meetings every single week without fail. Keyword is consistency, because yes, we can do it once here, maybe every 2 weeks, once a month, but what really blows things up, especially with in-homes, is consistency. So Peter Kelly maxed out a business center from essentially holding these Wellness Wednesdays, which were the name of her event. She had them every single week, followed a very basic outline, which we're going to share with you in all different perspectives from all trainers tonight. And as a result, she was able to build a beautiful community. And who could agree on the call that community is the biggest aspect when building a network marketing business? Why we are building relationships with people. So having a Wellness Wednesday or having a place where you could bring your team together and your new people together every single week will not only grow your business, but it's also going to grow your community. Again, so I'm going to share my take on it first. So again, I'm going to share the perspective that was duplicated down into my business. So I'm in Jackson Parr's downline. And if you're not familiar with Jackson Parr, he also maxed out his business in, I think, 18 months, holding in homes every single week. Okay. So what is the secret sauce here? We can all say that it's these in-home meetings. So I'm actually going to put in the chat box a link of what we use in our team and what he uses and what he used to max out his business. And it's a simple, let me know if that opens. It's a simple outline on how to hold a kick-ass launch party. That's what we call it. So we've changed it accordingly. So what you'll find that I just popped in is related to product sharing. So this would be like a sip and sample. This would be product related. Now, I don't typically hold mine heavily in the products, but we do a mix of vision casting for the business and the product. So I'm just going to go through a little step-by-step on how I hold mine, how Morgan holds his in Australia. So first and foremost, when you're holding an in-home, you really want to make it a comfortable, inviting, energetic environment. People react off of energy, right? So, it's already uncomfortable for somebody to go to somebody's house or an event that they don't know what to expect. So it's important to greet every person, high vibe, introduce yourself to every person that comes in, because this right here will set the tone of the entire event. If you don't take the time to really get to know your people before starting, chances are it's going to be a very closed off environment. So be open, be inviting, get them a drink. What I like to have at my in-homes is wine. Wine is easy. People love wine. It eases up the tension, right? It's a great way to conversate. I hold wine, samples of product, little snacks like pretzels, grapes, carrots, things like that. And we have music playing in the background. Now, while we have music playing in the background, you'll find a link in that link that I just sent you, that list of where you can put a YouTube video on replay. So you're going to want to connect your computer to your TV. So invest in an HDMI cord or whatever it's called. I'm not really techie savvy, but get one. And what you could do is you could replay a video on repeat on your TV while people are coming in. So it's like background, right? So people are kind of getting an idea what this is going to be about. Now, you can either do it as the start video, or you could do it as like the IsaBody video. So I do start. So I open up my events with the start video. So we play that first because I want to vision cast. Because like I was saying earlier today, is people suffer from what I like to call cancer of the wallet. When people don't have enough money, their health starts diminishing. So I like to show people that there's a solution for money, but also a way for them to get control of their health as well. So I start with the vision, I start with the business. So I open with the start vid, and I show the IsaLife, and particularly the video of all of us in Peru, just because it shows the community. It puts a big smile on my face, gets me in a good mood, and I know if we're in a good mood, your people are going to be in good mood too. So next, I do some enrolling questions, and some of my enrolling questions could be like, I want you to close your eyes. I want you to close your eyes and imagine, what does your ideal life look like to you? And have them think about it. Have them really think about it, right? And then another question I ask is, if time and money weren't an issue, where would you be? What would you be doing? And then if you had the best health in the world, what would that look like to you? And I get them to visualize. And also what's really powerful is engagement. So after I ask some of those questions, I'll ask, what does that look like for you? And let people tell me what their ideal day looks like, what their ideal health looks like. And then this might be a scary one for some of you, but I ask the question after that, why don't you have it already? And I know that could feel super uncomfy in the beginning, first asking people, well, why don't you have that already? But it really gets people to think about it, right? And then what I do is I introduce myself. I say, hi guys, my name is Cameron, and I'm so grateful for everyone to be here, because, if somebody didn't show me this opportunity, then, I might not be standing in front of you here today sharing what could be an option for you to also live your ideal life. So then I go into sharing my story. So I give them a way that I get them thinking before I even start the presentation. But so I start with the questions, and I ask them what their plan is to change that. And then I share with them that I'm going to show them a plan, a way, a solution for them to have their ideal health, have that opportunity to create income, have that community to support them in their changes. And so after I share my story, so we have the start video first, and then I do enrolling questions, and this is all in the PDF as well, you guys. And then I share my story. And then the next is I share products. So what I'll do next is I'll play the Isagenix Advantage video, or you could play the IsaBody video depending on what's comfortable for you. I like Isagenix Advantage. And after that, I talk a little bit about the products. Let's say I'm doing it in-home with a team member. I'll share my story about my product transformation. They'll share their story about product transformation. And the key here is, guys, is just videos, story. That's it. Video, story, right? And then after I show more about I show Isagenix Advantage, and we share our stories on the products, then I go into showing you share, they share. So it is essential. If you guys haven't been practicing you share, they share, it's on page, I think 11 to 14, 11, 12, 13, 14 in your ISOLife Success book. I highly suggest just practicing it, because you never know when you're going to be at a coffee meeting and they're going to ask you, so what does the money look like? You're going to need to be prepared, especially for in-homes. We want to show people the money. We want to show them they can eat these products for free. We want to show them it's easy for them to get their products paid for and begin this business. So I write out you share, they share, just simply, using the value pack as an example. Recently, I've just been using the shake and shot pack as an example. So I do it 100 BV style, and if we to do a PIB as well. Okay, so I do it 100 BV style and normal PIB pack style. So then after I share, you share, they share, and I show them the money, I'm getting their clocks ticking. Recently, as of late, since about June, Morgan and I have been talking about the cash flow quadrant with Robert Kiyosaki, and I'm sure Chelsea will dive a little bit deeper into the pencil pitch, and I think we're doing training on that as well. So I then draw out the cash flow quadrant. If you guys were at Celebration, Susan Miller drew it out during the leadership training. So I do exactly that now, and I show them how to go from the left side to the right side of the quadrant, and how they can effectively and efficiently do that without all the investment it takes to become a big giant business owner or a big time investor. Cost tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars to do those things. I show them that they can do that, move from the left to the right with $200. And then I ask them, if you could start today for as little as $200 tonight, would you agree this is a lot better than investing tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars? And pretty much everyone's going to say yes, because it's a no-brainer, right? It's a no-brainer. So I'm showing people how they can make money, and they can make money fast, especially drawing out the cash flow quadrant and doing the pencil pitch, which we will go over in the future with you guys. So that is pretty much how I do it. And I know that it was really, really quickly, but we really want to show every single perspective on here. So again, refer to that PDF. It goes over how I go over the products, and whoever wants to share next. I'm done.
I'll go ahead. Sorry I sound like crap, guys. I got a little sick this weekend, which is rare for me. This is the first time I've been sick in like a year and a half, thanks to Isagenix. So a little summer cold going on. But I loved your whole run through, Cam, and it's so interesting always seeing different leaders, because every leader does it differently. So we're going to have every leader on this call share with you how they do it. So for me, our in-homes, we call them launch parties, or I don't usually call them spin samples up north, up in Boston, but we call them like launch parties. They're super community driven. So we really focus on bringing community together and showing the lifestyle. And I think that it's really important to understand that Isagenix can be anything for you. So if you're somebody who is super into like the natural organic side of Isagenix, like the holistic side, the spiritual side, like you could have, a card reading session where you could like do card readings and go through like the adaptogenic herbs. Peter Kelly gave me that like example one time. And I was like, that's so smart. If you're really into the athlete side, like you could be, you could do a running, like it's what you want to do. So for me, in Isagenix, I am all about lifestyle. So one of the things that I love to do is I like to have other food there that's not necessarily super healthy. And that really throws people off. And I'm not saying it's like horrible. It's not like candy bars, but chips and guac, and not like this like super healthy spread. And I think that starts shaking up people's brains that like this is actually a lifestyle, because they see the people that are there who are on Isagenix who are also eating these foods. And so the other second thing that I say is really important for like our community is that whenever there's a local person doing it, it's really important that other local people come. It's part of your job as the team, as the community, because we don't want just one Isagenix person there. Like I would rather there be an equal amount of Isagenix people there to prospects there, because one, you're re-enrolling your team all the time. Even if we think that we are not getting like beat down, we don't even realize how far away we are getting from our belief system the longer we are away from core events. And so plugging into our local events, even if it's like, oh, I'm tired and I have my own event coming up this week, what our teams will do is like we'll join together and we'll do like, okay, say there's 3 main people in the one area, and instead of each of us doing one a week, we'll rotate whose house we go to. That way we're all going to each other's events, because one, it provides community and support and having us plug in. But two, when you're there, this third biggest piece is stories. So for us, I put on a video usually as people walk in, but it's mostly just the person who's hosting will walk up to the front of the room, and I always have them open because this is a really good opportunity if you guys are hosting your first event to start speaking for the first time. So usually you'll have an upline person come in or somebody who's more seasoned come in and do the actual presentation. And if you don't have somebody in your area, they'll train you how to do it. But I usually will have my newbie, introduce themselves, say how they met me or how they met the person that's going to come up and share their story with Isagenix. Then the person will come in and kind of be like the expert. It might just be a more seasoned person in the area. So if you were enrolled by someone who's just been in 2 months and you've been in 1 month, like that's still more seasoned. And they'll share, the story of Isagenix. So that's really what we do is we'll share the story of Isagenix. So how Isagenix got started by John Anderson. And if you haven't heard that story, I'll share a link in the group chat, but it's a quick 10-minute story that kind of explains like the integrity of the company, in my opinion, and why these products are so incredible and why this business model is so incredible. And then from there, we just do product testimonials and business testimonials. And I think stories really sell. And then it just turns into kind of like everybody can chat and they can hang out, and we say on the spot, hey, we're going to be enrolling for anyone who wants to get started. It's always awesome to plan your in-homes when there's a free shipping or free enrollment week, and there is a free shipping week this week, so that's super exciting, and that's amazing because we have a little homework assignment for all of you. But yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. It's nothing more complicated than that. We had our first one out here. We had one person come. There was 3 of us that were in Isagenix already, and Evie was hosting her first one. She's on this call, and she shared her story. I shared a little bit of background. We tried some of the products, and you'll see which ones they pick up and you can give more information about. And then the girl ended up getting enrolled because she had so much belief. But that's really how we run it. So I will pass it off to whoever wants to go next.
I can go. So helpful, both of you. And I love these panel style trainings because what I hope that everybody always takes away is there's different ways to do it, but you just got to do it. And you have to figure out what works for you. So in the beginning of my business, I didn't do sip and samples or sip and socials. As you guys know, I'm a military spouse, so I was moving around a lot. And the biggest pain point, I guess, in my business was lack of consistency, which drove me to doing sip and socials. So I was in San Diego building for a while. I was back in Michigan building for a while when JJ was deployed, back in San Diego. We moved to Florida, now I'm in Dallas, and Lindsay and I are really leading with in-person events. So I think the girls did a great job of sharing the flow of it, but what I wanted to share too, and I took down notes because I was writing down some amazing things that the girls shared and what wasn't shared, is that, the biggest thing, you guys, I think that you're hearing hopefully consistently is community. And that is so huge for people, and a big driving force why people join you is think about all the cute stuff you're sharing on social media and what you're posting about. And then someone joins your team and you forget to check in on them, or maybe your Facebook page is a little dry because you don't have other leaders stepping up and you feel like you're running the show. And people are seeing kind of the show on social media, and then you invite them into something and they're kind of feeling the disconnect. And that definitely happened in my business early on. Was I was so community driven, but the second I started moving around, because I wasn't building in person, once I left an area, I had no leadership and no duplication in my business, which really hurt me on the back end. So in-person events, you guys really build 1, community, 2, accountability, and I'll go over that, consistency, duplication, and leadership. I don't know what else you need to build a business but those things, which the girls covered. And so we like to make them fun, like the other girls said, and you have to think, would I want to attend this? I don't present them as launch parties or like business parties, but more so Prosecco and protein. Lindsay, you can jump in too because we post them together. Basically, I just know that as a young female, when I was really struggling for community, especially moving around, and you guys have my Wi-Fi is unstable. I would want to go on a Friday night, learn about something, but exactly what Chelsea said was like, I think you think of someone's kind of biggest fear or hesitations about a program like Isagenix is, oh my gosh, it's expensive, it's restrictive, this is weird, I'm going to sell something. So if you're creating an environment like Cam said, and it's welcoming and it's fun and it's casual, and you're kind of knocking down people's biggest fears when they walk in, you know the statistic that you only have 5 seconds to make an impression? Have some fun rap music on, or country music. I'm a country girl, so I don't have rap music, but country music, some good John Mayer, Nora Jones, whatever your vibe is. Have the essential oils going, right? Create that lifestyle. Welcome in people, pour them a glass of wine, go to Trader Joe's, get 2 buck chuck. Lindsay and I love the Prosecco and the champagne. Make it casual and fun. And what I think has really helped is that I have worked so hard at building events, and then I have low numbers, but I just take fun videos and pictures, and the second I post them on social media, I get all, and Lindsay can attest this, we get all these messages like, oh my God, I wish I was there, I'm so bummed I missed that. So I think really showing offline that you're doing it, what you're showing online is so important. And the biggest thing, you guys, is duplication. At the end of the day, you know, posting on social media is great, but I can think how many times I've enrolled someone because they said, okay, I've been watching you for 2 years. They've been watching you for 6 months. You know, I had a girl who was a customer of mine that loved the 30-day system and got off Isagenix, for an example, years ago. And I didn't follow back up with her because she had ghosted me so many times, and thank God she came back to me. And she said, well, you know, I stopped using Isagenix because I got a new job, and they catered in like a gourmet lunch every month or every day. So I didn't need that monthly cost of Isagenix, and I switched jobs, and now my lunch costs me $14 a day. Okay, so that's just one example I'm giving, but think of people even in your life that are watching you. Something changes in their life. They change jobs. Things get more stressful. They become a new mom. They start running a marathon. I noticed so many people now that Lindsay's in my business, in my life, looking at athletes, right, that I wouldn't have noticed before, and watching Lindsay grow with the AMP line. So you never want to rely on the post and pray method in social media, right? Unless you are adamant and you are literally sending follow-ups every single day, which I know none of you are. None of you are even doing that every single week to build your business, which would build your business. Having something you can physically invite people to is going to blow up your business, right? And things change. And I know for me, that was you never want to be comfortable in this business, right? But it put me in the comfort zone of being very, very adamant with follow-ups when I had a physical invitation for people, because I knew they'd get to that Simpin sample, they'd taste the products, they'd meet my cute girlfriends, they'd hear the fun stories, and I would be presenting, right? We're not presenting the comp plan in our Instagram stories. We're not presenting the whole product line on our Instagram stories. We're dripping on them, but they're missing a lot of information. And that's what's so fun about the Simpin samples. And also, you know, I want to encourage you guys that you own your own businesses. Now, we can run incentives with our current customers. It's illegal to run incentives to get new customers in, right? So I can't say that I'm going to pay for the membership for the next 30 people that join me, but I can incentivize by doing raffles, right, at my Simpin samples, or, you know, partner up with local businesses. I have a spray tanning business that I'm selling. I'm not building this to make money. I'm building it to sell it off or hand it off to someone in Dallas, but raffling off a few spray tanning sessions. So find a local boutique and say, you know, this is, and it's a way for you to present your business to another business owner, but in a cold way, right? Hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm looking for. I host these weekly meetups. I know I was talking to another leader in Peru, and she would, you know, chat with local business owners and just say, hey, I host these, you know, local Wellness Wednesdays. I'd love to host it at your wine bar. Will you offer us, you know, half off prices of wine if I get 10 women in there? So she started hosting them at a venue because she knew people would show up to a wine bar, maybe not gather in someone's house. So I never actually blend up shakes at my Simpin samples unless it's like birthday cake, because I don't want people to taste. The shakes are amazing, but that's not something I offer, because remember that people are starting this to start a health journey. And so if someone's just in a mood, right? Or how many times have you tried a flavor you didn't maybe love it at first, but you know, tried 2 other ones and you loved it? So I actually never share shakes unless I do like peanut butter and chocolate. I don't know. I really jazz it up. But I do bars and Iso-Delights, and I love Pirate's Booty, which is not the healthiest, but it's a white cheddar popcorn. You saw me at Celebration. I had my hand in a bag of popcorn the whole day. Like Cameron said, like easy veggies. You know, you don't need to spend a lot of money. At the end of the day, you're creating an environment where people are excited to try Isagenix. And then the most powerful thing is that you're saying grab a friend, bring a friend, but get creative. And I really want to empower you guys as you own your own business, is come up with some fun raffles. If you have an extra, you know, box of e-shots, raffle someone off. Lindsay and I create event pages before our events, and we'll post in there our giveaways, right? So that maybe that pushes you to reach out to some local businesses and say, hey, I have an organization of X amount of people in my health and wellness business. We're hosting local events. Would you want to partner up and gain exposure to my business and I can expose them to them? A lot of business owners are always looking for free marketing like that, and they're happy to throw in a gift card or, say, does that make sense? So I want to encourage you guys to be reaching out to business owners as well to get involved in your business and have more fun in the community. So if hosting it, I know a lot of people say, well, I don't have the space, I don't have the apartment or the house to host people. Take it to a wine bar. I love an idea that we're going to start hosting is, I think it's called like Wine and Wealth. So you're presenting basically Chelsea's version of the pencil pitch about how to create leveraged income, and you're not leading with a product at all. So there's just different ways that you can do, but get creative and think about what would I want to attend and what wouldn't I want to attend. And would I respond off of a graphic, or would I respond off of some cute girl on Instagram doing a live sharing her story? Would I respond to, a launch party? Yes, because I was looking for income. So that's something that I would want to attend. So just try different things. And then the last thing I wanted to add in was understanding the leverage you have with this business by following up. And I know Trudy Maples, who we all love on this line, and her sister Tana Kirkpatrick are both millionaires in the company. And they literally invite people every single week, and they have multi-million-dollar businesses. And they say there are people I've been messaging every single week for 2 years, and eventually they say they want to come. So think about the leverage you have with that, but then the duplication, right? You have a new product user who comes and she's down 10 pounds, and you say, okay, I know you're excited. We've talked about the income. I want you to bring 3 girlfriends tonight, and I'll host it at my house. I'll provide everything, but bring the friends, right? And I want you to just share your story and empower someone. Okay, so then out of that sip and sample, she enrolls 2, she goes instant consultant, and those 2 girls bring 2 friends, 5 friends next week, okay? And it grows and it grows and grows. It creates leadership, it creates accountability, it creates consistency, and it creates the simplest duplication. And then lastly, you guys, hosting, very easy, non-fancy, casual, inexpensive sip and samples shows any product user, any business owner that's busy and says they don't have time for this, any mom, any college student, that they can do this business. So the more simple and the more duplicatable you build your business, creates duplication and ease in your business. So think about that too, but just get creative. And then lastly, I always say, find a running partner. Okay, so maybe this week post on social media that you're really excited to find someone locally that's really ready to change their income or their financial situation, and just say that you're going to start hosting really fun Wellness Wednesdays and helping people build their income with a leveraged business with Isagenix or with a health and wellness company. Find one person, and I can tell you now, being in Dallas, I've hosted a lot of events on my own, but it's so fun, and the accountability is so strong having Lindsay. But also, we're double dipping in each other's networks and trading off weeks, which is so fun. So I didn't have a running partner, and I think a lot of people look at my business with Lindsay like, oh, it must be so easy or fun having her. But guess what, you guys? I had to charge forward before Lindsay ever looked my way at this Isagenix business, and she joined me because I was bold and I was consistent. So she joined me 2.5, 3 years into my journey coming into this business. But you have to charge forward, be consistent to find your running partners. So I want to encourage you with that is like, put it out there. Find some cute girl in your local area from Bumble BFF or Instagram that wants to make some money. Show her what a Wellness Wednesday is and see if she wants to join you for one. For all I know, she could bring 10 people to your house and you're your next Crystal executive. That's all for me.
Okay, I can hop on after here. I really just echo everything that all the leaders have said so far, and I think it's really great for hopefully you guys to be able to see the different ways that it can be done. And I really do think just having people in person, I've had people join my business where if I sent them a text message or they saw, a graphic on Instagram, they would have never joined my business. It was because I invited them to an event, and in person, we were able to have a dialogue about what's going on in their life, what they're looking for, what solutions can we offer. And, I had a girlfriend come to an event who was really new on the products, and she just came to a Wellness Wednesday, and she ended up buying a ticket to, our last big Isagenix event. She came to Celebration in Nashville, and she was brand new. And that would have never happened if I texted her and was like, hey, do you want to come to this huge global event that we're having? No, it's because we were able to have the conversation. So just really, and knowing the power of, like they said, consistency and being able to invite people to an event, like being able to follow up and say, hey, not only, do I have this opportunity that you see me, sharing about every now and then, but I'm creating a community, and I really care about the people that are joining me, and here's what we have to offer. And I do think knowing what you want your event to be in the meantime, like I know Katie's on here and she does like booties and like smoothie bowls type events. Like you can have fitness related ones. You can have, wellness Wednesdays where you focus on, the nutrition side of it, or you can have, I know Cameron is great at doing all of the like really, really vision casting the income opportunities. So kind of know what the event is, because you don't want someone who's like maybe interested in joining it for a product than someone who's like looking to run and make $10,000 the next 90 days. Like you want to be able to address what people are looking for. So really quickly, I wanted to, if I'm able to share my screen, I wanted to just show you guys a tool that's available to you as we're talking about hosting these events. Let's see if this will go. I'll correct me if it doesn't work. Can you see my screen? Yes, okay. So I wanted you guys to know that there is an isagenixbusiness.com. So it's called Associate Run Events, ARE. There's this whole website, and right now there's a promotion going on through the end of the year where if you host an in-home sip and sample or any type of gathering or wellness event, and you register it on both Eventbrite and with Isagenix, and this is all in a PDF. We can, I'll drop the links below after I'm done sharing, and you get all the details below. And Isagenix actually gifts you, you'll see here, 5 free 1-year membership codes. So I use that as an incentive for people who come to my event. And I'm like, great, for the first 5 people who are ready to go today, I can offer you a free 1-year membership. Like who's ready to go and create like that urgency right then, have your new member form filled out, have your computer up, like right then and there is really to create the urgency of having that. Make sure this chat's due. Okay, sorry, I was making sure y'all weren't seeing, you couldn't see this. Okay, and then after you register the event, you'll get a survey, and you also get $50 in product coupon to be able to provide the like samples or anything that you want for your business. And if that's not good enough, if you have someone attend your event, host their own event, they get the exact same thing that you had. You help them, walk them through, like Chelsea said, if you have a new person, you have them share their story and you come in and you help them. We create duplication. We did this for one of my new leaders, and she enrolled 2 people that she had been talking to for a long time. But just having me and Mackenzie come to her home and have the conversation in person changes everything, and people learn from your posture, and it's just creating the community and having everyone come together. But then they get a $50 product coupon. So do you, for them going to an event and hosting your own, and you duplicate it, right? So this is a promotion that's going on that it's just rewarding us for what we already know grows our business. But I wanted you guys to know that this is available and the steps to go through. There's literally an event booking guide, how to host an event. There's a video. Here's how you go through. Here's what you do. And then this I love too, and I'll drop all these links. But on Isagenix Business, you can find anything, everything you would ever want to know. But hosting events is one of the amazing things that we have tools on here. And it says, here's the agenda. We've gone through, and Cameron's doc was great. We've gone through and said things that work for us. But this is also like step-by-step here, what to sample, what videos to play. We loved Isagenix Advantage, Mary Evans Just Cleanse, having the IsaBodies transformations up. We usually do that too. Here, like I said, the new member forum. I actually have some things printed out too. So I have product guides, and I have amp lines. I have a lot of athletes because I'm a big runner. So I have amp line products out, and you can actually go through. My next tab I'll show you guys is where to order those. But then here too, there's on this step 3 down here, these are the presentations that you can actually download. They're PowerPoint presentations, and you can flip through. You can adapt them yourself, or you can just kind of flip through the ideal life presentations. I've watched probably 30 leaders in Isagenix give this presentation. It's the same template, but everyone has their own spin on it. So watch that and learn how to do it, and you have these tools here for you. So you don't have to recreate it. You don't have to come up with a PowerPoint presentation. All these tools are here, and you're walked through it step by step. And then the last thing I'll show you guys is this ISA sales tools. So these are the actual so there's literally, here's a business in a box. Here's what you need. So here's, I love to have the full product guide, then the fact sheet about the industry and Isagenix as a company, and just like how, the success by the numbers. And then you can order business cards and everything else. So I like to have some of those things, but again, none of this is necessary. You can have it all up on your computer. Don't feel like you need to spend a lot of money. I just wanted you guys to know the tools that are available when we are hosting our in-homes. Okay, is it back on me? Yay. Okay, so that's pretty much the main thing I wanted to share with the tools. I just want you to encourage and empower all of you to host your own events, and just know that everyone has had ones where, you know, it's not as successful as they wanted or people don't show up, but it's having the consistency. And like Ken said, I've had some where, you know, not many people ended up showing up. I had one where there was a freak thunderstorm tornado warning and everything was shut down, and I ended up having to do a virtual event. And I just kind of rolled with it. And at the end of the day, I saw who expressed interest in coming. So I had them on my list and ended up, you know, creating a relationship, going back and forth and helping those people get started, even though we couldn't come to the event. But they probably wouldn't have reached out if I didn't let them know that there was something for them to be welcomed into. So just really having that. Okay, I will pass it off to the next trainer, whoever's ready.
I'll jump in. Hi guys, happy Labor Day. I really just echo, first of all, everything that everyone said so far, and I don't want to give you too many new templates or structures, but I want to give you some overarching ideas and some things that have worked really well for me in the past. So I think, again, agreeing in what everyone else has said so far, I think the events are so important because they really bring things to life for people. Obviously, we have incredible products, and there are a lot of products out there for people to be really overwhelmed with. So when people say to me, like, what makes this different? The products are incredible, and the community is so real. And that's, I think, why, in agreement with what everyone's saying, is that it's one thing to show the community on your social media, but if you're not actually hosting events and bringing people together in real life, it doesn't feel real to them, even if they see a community, but it's not happening around them and they're not getting invited to something. They don't feel like that community is as real. And that, I think, is one of our biggest assets and biggest values in Isagenix. So just really helping people bring that to life in the way that you feel it and in the way that you know to be true, because they haven't been to events like Celebration and NYKO and things that we've been to. So we need to help them create that kind of example for them of what it is and why this community is so special and how much support there really is for them. So that's kind of the why. And another big piece for me is that people can only connect so deeply on technology, obviously through Zoom, through phones. We do a really good job nowadays. We're comfortable, it's natural, but it's never going to be as authentic and as deep as connecting in person. So I've had people who over the phone or over text are like, yeah, it sounds interesting, I want to lose weight. And then they're at an event and we're going around and sharing what do you really want to change in your life? And they go so many layers deeper. I'm like, wow, I had no idea that this is why it was so important to you, and this is really what you were looking to change. So there's such a higher level of depth and kind of transparency that happens when you're at events, and such a deeper level of connection that happens. And I think that's what really tips the scale for a lot of people and makes them like ready to go full force, because they see that people care about them. They see there's a community here. They see the products taste amazing, and they have a chance to really check in with themselves and tap into that deeper reason and actually share that with a community of people who's ready to hear them and to uplift them. So that's another big element. And then I think the biggest thing is taking some time, like Kenzie said, what would you want to go to? What would be fun for you? Ultimately, a lot of the people you're probably trying to like your target audience is going to be people similar to you. So if something really doesn't sound that great to you, but it seems like the model, it's probably not the way to go for you, right? So like for me, for example, I love to be outside, I love to move, and I'm obsessed with the beach. So Lindsay and I for a while had a little series going, which was so fun, where we did like a beach sunset yoga flow. And then afterwards we all sat in a circle, we passed around samples of products, and we gave everyone a chance to share one or two things that they would like to change in terms of their health, or things that they're working on in terms of their health and their wellness. So that's just one example of something that is kind of unique and different, but it was something that really resonated with both Lindsay and I and felt like so the kind of thing we would want to be a part of and that we would want to go to. And then again, like Kenzie said, just really sharing that. So I can get very distracted when I'm in person with people and forget to snap content and really capture the experience, but it's so important afterwards to post about the event as well, and to really show people who couldn't come what they missed, so they could see, wow, that's really something I would want to be a part of next time. So make sure you take that second and are posting about what the experience was like, and really building that vision for other people who might not have been able to make it that first time, but who want to make it in the future. So let's see, I wanted to give what was the other thing I wanted to say? Oh yeah, just asking, like taking some time, sitting quiet. I know for me, the idea of events honestly was really scary in the beginning, just because I was like, who's going to come? What am I going to do? So I think the best thing to do here is really flip it on its head. Like, get quiet, close your eyes for a few minutes, and think about, if I could do any event in the world, what would be the most fun, the most exciting, and the thing that I would want to come to most if I were invited to, and then create some element of that. So let it be something you're super excited about and that the people in your community are going to really resonate with, and then look at how you can integrate in Isagenix. So like, for example, Lindsay's and my beach yoga, it was a little out of the box, but we found it was a really authentic way for us to connect with our audiences. And then we were able to integrate in Isagenix, products, vision, and all of that really authentically once we had a core understanding of what we wanted the foundation of the event to look like. So I just threw out a couple more ideas, things that have worked really well for me in the past. We've done some nearby hikes and then gone to people's house nearby, shared products, done samples, did a little presentation at that point. So if you're going to do 2 locations, just make sure that the second spot is really, really, really close to the first spot. So the hike was like a 3-minute drive from the house that we were sharing products at and kind of like doing the presentation afterwards so that you don't lose people during that transition. And then let's see, I said like a morning workout, another really fun idea if you want to be outside and you want to move. And then also, again, if we're not doing smoothies, which a lot of people don't do smoothies, it's not that tricky to cut up some bars, cut up some IsaDelights, bring the product so they can see what it looks like, and then bring that with you. Maybe you guys want to do like a morning workout class in the park and then sit in a circle and pass around products and share stories and bring people together in that way. So just to kind of give you the flip side of everything, there is a lot of opportunity to think outside of the box if you're really trying to find something that resonates with you, and then to build in all these elements that we've talked about into something that feels super authentic to you. I think that's it for me.
Yay, thank you, Sage. I'll jump on, and I think I'm the last one. So guys, in-home events, I really feel like they're so important for growing your local community and your tribe, and really where you're at. They can be so fun and super beneficial for your team and your business. And we don't always get to be together. And I think that that's really important to realize because at Isagenix events, you know, they're so fun. And we finally all get to be together from all over the world. We get to learn and grow and adventure and just really enjoy that time. And that is why I really love in-home events, because it keeps that spark going, you know, throughout the rest of the year. And you know, I love these. I used to be afraid of these and really unsure of these in the beginning. And I've been doing a lot more of them over the last year or two. And I feel like you really just find what works best for you. But you have to go first, and you just have to get started. And we've had really big events, you guys, where the room has been packed. And then we've had events where there were no shows and it was just us. And we actually had a mini party for ourselves. We got reach outs done, and then we went to the pool after. So I feel like you guys, you just have to make the most of it. And the more excited that you are about your events, the more excited the people are who you invite and who's going to show up and who are, you know, a part of this with you now. So what excites me about hosting events these days is for the first time since high school, Janelle, so my running partner, and obviously my local girls here, we were in the same place at the same time, kind of like I bet how Kenzie and Lindsay feel. It is so fun to be with your running buddy in the same place. And so we really took advantage of that time together this last year, and leaders go first. So we got out there, you guys. We had time, so we really did get to work. We joined Bible studies. We went to new churches every Sunday. We did networking groups. We joined all these Bumble events and met girls through that. We did volleyball teams, sand volleyball, indoor volleyball. Like, we really shifted our network and pushed ourselves to grow so that we could invite everyone to our events and really leveled ourselves up. So that was a way for us to not only get ourselves out there and bring in new people, but it excited us to be like, oh my gosh, you guys, you've got to come to our Sip and Sweat on Saturday. And they'd be like, what is that? And it really gets the conversations going when you are, like I said, out and about networking. But it was just so fun. We really have just kept it super sweet and simple, you guys. We've hosted them at my loft or at my parents' rental when they're down here in Scottsdale. But being in the same place as your leaders and anyone on your team and doing this and like linking up and running is going to help you continue to get these events consistent and really have, like I said, that spark going year round. So, like I said, we keep it super sweet and simple. We have a cute product display, normally of just like the pillars, and then a couple of our favorite products out there. We have music playing. I have my TV up, and I've pulled a transformation slideshow of like all of my favorite transformations, and we have that just going in the background the whole time. So we have a really fun like energy environment, like the girls have talked about, and really driving that culture and that community here locally. And then we've got snacks and goodies, and we just keep it real, like within our energy of what we're up to. And like Kenzie said, we host a lot of protein and Prosecco's, a lot of Sip and Sweats. That's been our fun one lately. So everybody meets up. We host a little like event here, and then we've all picked like one of our favorite workouts and gone and done a workout class together after. So like we sip and then we sweat, and that's been really, really good for us lately too. But just make it whatever you want it. Our layout's been pretty easy, you guys. We really just intro ourselves. We always start with gratitude and really casting this vision of how excited we are to have everybody there and thanking them for taking that time. And then we talk about our stories. I actually love having that big Post-it board. I write on it throughout the thing, and I love to rip it off and like stick the Post-it somewhere, and just, you know, keep it really interactive with everybody that's there. Like it's more of a conversation rather than a presentation. We really talk to people and just, you know, figure out what they're looking for, and we talk about the solutions, we talk about our stories, we talk about the compensation plan, and then, like I said, depending on what activity we have, that's kind of been what we've been up to. So honestly, like my advice is just start with one, see what you like about it. You're going to tweak these as they go, but really driving that community and that culture. And like Sage was saying, you know, that vibe and that energy of like who you want to be, you know, attracting into your business. That is going to open up your networks and get you guys excited about hosting these all the time. So that is kind of my in-home experience. And I'm going to turn it back over to Cameron if she wants to wrap it up and close out.
Yes, thank you. Oh my gosh. Okay, who could agree? We just got some amazing tips and tricks and ideas, and just it was great. So, you know, hearing all these different perspectives on how we hold these in-homes, I hope everyone got some ideas on how they're going to hold theirs, because the homework this week, you guys, is to hold our either first in-home event, or, you know, it could be our 5th, it could be our 10th, but the homework this week for Thursday is to hold your first event. Now, you know, I like to do it Thursdays. Some people like to do it Wednesdays. Some like to do it Friday afternoons. But as long as it's this week, we wanted to make the homework this week in-home event. So it's going to push past your comfort zone. If it's your first one, you're going to feel all the butterflies, but that's okay, because when you feel those butterflies, you know that your business is growing. Your business is growing. You're growing as an individual, and the more we grow ourselves and push our limits, the more everything is just going to begin developing. So it's a way for you to build a community. It's a way for you to step into leadership, practice speaking, leadership roles. All of this is developing your skills. So it's way, way, way more than just getting an enrollment. It's everything else. It's setting it up. It's pushing past our comfort zone. It's reaching out to people. It's building the community. It's learning all the skills. It's setting something up that we don't typically normally do. So although an enrollment is great, and obviously that's one of the goals, we just take the time to, it doesn't matter if 5 people show up or 0 show up. It's still a success because you planned it and you did it. So I just wanted to close that close that on the homework this week. And again, thank you everyone who completed the homework last week and shared their stories. You're only growing yourself and your business when you do the homework. And yeah, we can't wait to, see all your pictures. That's another thing. When you're holding it in home this week, take a picture, a selfie with your group. I always love taking a picture, just like how Kenzie said, because you're going to build FOMO and people want to see, right? And more likely than not that they're going to have FOMO and want to go to the next one. So post a picture, put it on your social media, put it in our Rise group so we can cheer you on and celebrate you. And I hope everybody has a beautiful week.